Jonathan Taylor is the 7th pick in fantasy drafts right now, and his 18 rushing touchdowns, the most in football last year, are exactly why that price is wrong. They're also exactly why somebody in your league will happily pay it. This is the Muffed 2026 preview, what he did, what repeats, and what you should actually pay for. Start with the season he had, because it was magnificent. 21.3 PPR points a game, the number 4 running back in football per game and in total. And that symmetry matters. No padded ranking, no soft stretch. 323 carries, the most in the NFL for 1585 at 4.9 a pop, 18 rushing scores, 46 catches on top, 17 games, 0 missed, and the efficiency held under all that weight, plus 195 rushing yards over expected, 5th most in football. The defining day was week 10 against Atlanta, 32 carries, 244 yards, 3 scores, including an 83-yard touchdown with the game on the line, a 49-point fantasy eruption. That's the full resume: volume, efficiency, touchdowns, health. Now zoom out, because here's where it gets interesting. This is year 6 for Taylor, and we have seen this exact season from him before, almost line for line. 2021, 22 points a game, RB2, 18 rushing touchdowns, a third of his fantasy value from scores. 2025, 21.3 RB4, 18 rushing touchdowns, a third of his value from scores. He is the only back this decade with 2 18 rushing touchdown seasons. Nobody else has even done it twice. And what followed the first one, 13.3 a game, RB17. Now, honestly, because that's the house style, 2022 was also an ankle injury and a quarterback carousel. The collapse wasn't pure touchdown regression, but the climb back tells you what his non-touchdown baseline looks like: 15.5, 17.5, and then last year, when the scores came home again, 21, the touchdowns are the tide in this career. So let's decompose what actually repeats. 10 years of data, every back in football. Carries repeat, volume is identity, and 323 carries with no competition for the role is as safe as workload gets. The receiving game repeats, and his is growing. 46 catches was a career high, up from the upper 30s in his best years. That's the part of this profile quietly getting better. But touchdown share is weather. Taylor's 33%, a third of his points from trips to the paint, puts him in the top quartile of touchdown-dependent backs, and that group across a decade falls off by 3 points a game the following season. Not sometimes, on average, and it holds in both halves of the decade. Take 21.3, subtract 3, and you're at 18 and change. 6th best back production. Excellent, just not what pick 7 is paying for. Muffed! The situation briefly, in this part, the data can't model, so we'll just say what's known. Indianapolis re-signed Daniel Jones this offseason on a 2-year deal per reports in March, but he's coming back from a late season Achilles, throwing at OTAs by the June reports. And Taylor himself is in contract talks, saying all the right things about being a Colt for life. How it cuts: a healthy Jones means the same top 10 rushing environment that produced all those goal line trips. A slow Achilles recovery means loaded boxes in a touchdown environment that sags. You're not just drafting Taylor's legs, you're drafting that tendon. So the price, pick 7.5, the 4th back off the board as of our June 10 snapshot. That price pays for a top 4 repeat for the 18 touchdowns coming home again. Our verdict, and it's a real call: overpriced, not a fade, a price correction. The honest counter argument out loud: the workload is bulletproof, the receiving role is growing, and if anyone's built to outrun a base rate, it's a 27-year-old bell cow with no backup in sight. The role is real, the touchdowns are rented, pay for the role. What to watch once September comes: his share of the carries inside the 5. That's where 18 touchdowns either reload or don't. The catch is, if 46 becomes 55, the floor rises and this call weakens, and Daniel Jones's legs literally. If Taylor's one of your guys, this is what Muff does every single week of the season. Your roster, the real numbers, no theater. Your next preview is already queued.